games that you're building on what you did before, so you kind of need to remember what you were doing last time you played in order to have a coherent continuation. But does it matter? We've already gone through an entire palette of stuff. Let's go see if we've got any silage additive. I'm pretty sure I do. And I'm pretty sure it's right here. No, that's liquid fertilizer. Oh. Might need to go shopping. So, in actual fact, we haven't looked at the store yet, so let's do that now. There's a big orange tractor, 168 horsepower. Fast track, 235. I need something that's about 250. That's a 5N goes up to 120. That's a 300 goes up to 140. That's a tracked thing. Okay. Oh. Now that would be kind of fun to have. Actually kind of cheap. I might think about buying that and using that to do our thing. We do not have silage additive. Okay. So I'm probably going to need 2 of those. I can only buy one at a time. So buy, yes, okay, buy, yes, okay. Back, jump in the truck. Oops. So what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying, but oh yes, persistent games. Then, as I said, this is the only game I am playing regularly, and it's regularly once a week. But that's enough for me to keep track of where I'm up to, what the next thing is. With Truck Simulator, you earn enough money, you can upgrade your truck. You earn enough money, you can buy a second truck, you can hire a man, you can stick your man in the one of your garages, you can buy a new garage, whatever, and your man will make your company more money. But it doesn't matter how many mans I have driving and how many trucks I have with mans driving them, or how many garages I have. I can just explore the map in my truck, doing deliveries, and just having fun whenever I sit down to play the game. So Euro Truck, I think I have a small truck. It's in Sardinia because I started the game save just after the Italian DLC came out. Sardinia might have been a free add-on for that pack a couple of months later. But anyway, I decided I would start in Sardinia, and I've just explored the entire island and transferred over to Italy, and I'm slowly working my way through Italy. But it's not oh, I've got to keep playing this. I could load up the game, grab that game save. I know my truck will be transferred back to my starting garage or its home garage, because that's how the game works after an update. And any jobs I had will be cancelled. But bottom line, that's fine, because I can just get into the game and look for a local job and just start it. And, you know, drive around Europe and have a little bit of fun for half an hour or an hour or 2 hours or whatever it, you know, ends up being. But it's a game I can pick up and just play it for half an hour, play it for an hour, play it for 3 hours, doesn't matter. Just have fun, and once I've run a couple of deliveries, okay, bored now, I want to go and do something else, I can do something else, I can leave it for 3 months, and I can just pick it up where I left off, because where I left off is all the jobs were finished, and yeah, I'll just drive to a garage and park there, and next time I play we'll pick up from that point. Anyway, we now have 120 litres of silage additive, which is awesome. How's the Big M doing? The Big M has 3 minutes to complete its current field, and it's done for the day, or for the year. That'll be third cut done. Okay, I'll bounce over the field. Sure, Tom Pemberton would be very mad at me for doing that. And I would probably have got stuck in the dirt. So, okay, do that. Engine is off. Let's go find the tractor. Oops, I left the engine on. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, I've obviously got some mod conflict where I have to get out of the tractor in order for it to detect what's nearby and what I can refill my tractor with. Okay. Anyway, collecting rice. So yeah, I mean, I think I enjoyed playing XCOM. I could never finish the first one because I don't know, the game would bug out on the final mission. Halfway through the final mission, the game would crash, and I couldn't get it finished. And I tried it many, many times. Just no. It crashed at the same point every single time. I tried, I'll save it a couple of minutes before it crashes, let it crash and then reload, and it would still crash at exactly the same point. So I just got fed up. XCOM 2, I think XCOM 2, I bought that. And I never got. It was one of those, I'd start a campaign and then cancel it. At a similar time, Phoenix Point came out, which was an XCOM type game, and I thought that looked fun. And it was only available on Epic Store. I don't have an Epic Store account, so I didn't get it. And then a year later, it was released on all the streaming or all the online store fronts. So I bought it on Steam for a discount. And again, it's one of those games where I've probably played about 4 scenarios, and then never got back to it. So another game I bought, and it's like, nah, probably never going to end up playing this one. Maybe when I retire, I'll play all these games. But there's I've got quite a sizable catalogue of games in Steam. that aren't even loaded on my hard drive. Obviously I still own them, I can download them at any point, but there's no point. I'm not going to play them. One of the, Farm Sim 17. Because my hard drive crashed and lost me all my game saves, there's no point in reloading Farm Sim 17 onto the PC because I'm never going to be able to get back and play that, reload that game and just see where it ends up going. Farm Sim 19, I still own that. But again, I think I've lost, have I lost the play? No, I think I've still got the Oakfield Farm playthrough. So I could still load that, but I get a new PC. I'm probably not going to reload Farm Sim 19 anytime. And it's sort of it's unfortunate, but yeah, with games like Farm Sim, Train Sim World, I've got Train Sim World, Train Sim World 2, and Train Sim World 3. I do not have Train Sim World or Train Sim World 2 on my PC because Train Sim World 3 is compatible with all of the missions from Train Sim World. So, yeah. Looks like... Okay, the case is still running, still has 30 minutes to go on that field. It's not counting down. That would explain a lot, I guess. Oh, so the work at home. I've been paying a worker for ages, and he not been doing much. Okay, let's put the blue line and never tried last waypoint, I'm assuming. No. Nearest waypoint. There you go. I'm going to drift over to the right a little bit, but then we're back on. Okay. Close that. And he's all done. And I'm going to leave him there for now. We'll get back to this guy. And then Patchwork, good morning. How are you this fine Saturday in July? Okay, let's have a look at that one. So he's still got about 30 minutes left to run on that contract, even though he's been sitting looking at a hedge for the last hour. Such is life.
Hi again.
Oh, I'm full. He said hi. What are you doing?
Looking.
Okay. What did you all have for breakfast?
Cereal.
Okay, have for breakfast.
Cereal.
What's Kate doing now?
I don't know.
Sleeping?
No.
Okay. And the back has been giving me grief this week, but we've had a lot going on at church, so I've been sat in a pew every night this week for about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. So that's not the greatest of things, but I did have an appointment with the dude who does the injections, and he said I'd been booked for the wrong injection, so he had to get me approved for a different injection, and then I have to make an appointment to come back 3 times in rapid succession to have that done. So I haven't called him yet because Mrs. Osa's out with the kids all next week away on vacation. So if I need a driver, she's not going to be around to give me a ride up to the hospital. And the last few injections in my back, I've needed a driver. So I'm having to live with what pain I have at the moment, which is kind of painful, I will admit. You need to be repaired. Next service advised in 7 hours. I think you need to be repaired. And we'll get it serviced, repaired next time. Oh, back. But outside of that, things are good. Work's work. I spent a lot of this week chatting to one of my colleagues about his math. He doesn't understand his math, which kind of a bit of a problem because I don't necessarily understand everything about his math, and he wants me to tell me how to do it. And it's like, well, and we got to one point, we're looking at data on a file. We have a field that is order quantity in pieces. Okay, so I'm going to make the assumption that if you order 20 pieces, then that field has 20 in it. And if you order £8,000 and each piece is £80, then you've ordered 100 pieces, and that field will have 100 in. So that was all good. And then there was dimensions, but there was a dimension unit of measure. So I could tell if the dimension field contained a 12 and the unit of measure field contained FT, then that was 12 feet or 144 inches. And if it contained 12 and the unit of measure field contained IN, then it was 12 inches. So if I had 100 pieces at 12 inches, then I had 100 1-foot pieces of material. And then it had shipping weight. And so I'm asking him, you've got a value of 6,666 in that field. What does it mean? Well, it's the shipping weight. Yes, but what unit of measure is it in? I don't understand. And it's like, why am I leaving already? I still got capacity. And I'm saying, well, there's nothing on the file that tells you the unit of measure on that field. I don't understand. Well, is it feet? Is it pounds? Is it kilograms? Is it pink elephants? It's something my math teacher taught me back when I was in pre-high school, was you need to specify the units. So if you have a square room that is 5 feet along one side and 13 feet along the other side, how big is the room? And if you wrote 5 times 13 is 65, and if you just put 65, he would mark it wrong, because 65 doesn't actually tell you anything about the size of the room. Now, the fact that the size of the room was given to you in feet means you had to say, if I take 13 feet and multiply it by 5 feet, then I have 65 square feet of carpet that I need to buy for this room. Or tile to cover 65 square feet. It's 5 feet wide, it's possibly a bathroom, not a bedroom. But, you know, he drummed into us, you always have to tell us what unit of measure this math problem is coming out in. Because if you don't tell me the unit of measure, I have no idea. You can't prove to me that the answer is correct. You've just said 65. Is it 65 pink elephants? The size of the room is 65 pink elephants, because you didn't tell me whether it was feet, meters, or whatever. And I think everybody in that class got the message that no matter what, if I see a number, I need to know what that means. I can't deduce what the number means until I know the unit of measure. So it's like, how far is it from my house to my father-in-law's house? 6. 6 what? 6 miles? 6 hours? You have to tell me the unit of measure for me to work out. If it's 6 miles, I'm going to think, oh, it's not going to take long to get to my father-in-law. If you say 6 hours, it's like, well, I better pack some snacks and make sure the car's full of gas, because it's going to take us a while and it's obviously a fair distance away from here. But just knowing my grandfather lives 6 away from me, 6 feet, he's standing next to me, I don't know. You have to tell me the unit of measure, and I just couldn't get it through to this guy. I need to know what the unit of measure of that number is. And he said, well, it's on the file, it's 6,666. 6,666 what? Is it feet? Is it miles? Is it pounds? Is it hundredweight? Is it tons? I don't know. All I know is it's 6,666, and without anything else to go on, I can't tell you what your math needs to be to come out with the right answer, because you don't know what your math should be. Eventually we got the sales guy who's testing it to come in, and I just said, this field has 6,666. What is that 6,666 representing? And he's like, well, what do you mean? So I said, well, is it feet? Is it yards? Is it pounds? Is it tons? Oh, and he told us what the unit of measure was. Okay, now I can go and find out, why did you select that particular unit of measure to store that number in the field? Because the field was titled weight, but I wasn't willing to take weight as a sacrosanct value. Somebody had called the field a name. I can call a field a name ABCD. That tells me nothing about what's in it. Just because someone calls a field weight doesn't mean it's actually got a weight in it. As it turned out, it was 6,666 feet. And I think we figured that the weight of a piece was 3 pounds. No, the weight of a foot was 3 pounds. So 3 pounds per foot. So if you've got 6,666, and it was over 3 pounds per foot, but let's call it 3 pounds per foot. That meant that the weight of that material was 20,000 pounds, not 6,666. And so, he was saying, well, I got 20,000 in when I do this math, I get 20,000. So I said, yeah, good. What is 20,000? What is 6,000? Until I know what what the derivation of each number is. I can't tell you if 20,000 is correct or what 20,000 actually is. And as I said, it turned out 20,000 was pounds, 6,000 was feet, and the weight for a foot was 3 pounds per foot. So yes, your math is correct. That is the correct number. But come to me and say, is this number right? It's what your program told you it was. I don't know. I don't know if your program has the right number, is doing the correct math. And I don't know where your numbers came from to be able to write it down on a piece of paper and say, yes, that's correct. And it goes back to what my old school teacher told me. You need to show me the